I'm going to do this one at 100 miles an hour. Okay, you tell me when I make a mistake, please, okay? First step I'm going to do is I'm going to factor. So I'm going to say f of x is equal to -3 bracket 2x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 6, which is -3 over 2x, x minus 2 plus 3x minus 2. So f of x is equal to -3 over x minus 2 and 2x plus 3. My asymptotes are y cannot equal 0, x cannot equal 2, and -3 over 2. Did I make a mistake yet? No, I hope we're still good. Okay. Any questions and fears about what happened so far? We're good? Okay, now the next step is to do it on the graph. There are many people here that said, I can't get my interval chart to work. If you say to yourself on your test, you can't get the interval chart to work, the hint is draw a graph first, because then you can see how things are going to go. Okay, so I'm going to quickly do this as fast as I can. And again, when you're doing this in your notes, 1/4 of the page is plenty of room. 1/4 of the page is plenty of room to work with. I do it nice and big on the board so you guys can see, but oops. But on the on your paper, this should be enough room. As well, since there's a half in there, I'm probably going to also use every 2 squares to be 1, so I can very accurately do my half. Okay, asymptotes are coming next. You guys can stay in the zone, please. Y cannot be 0 goes here. X cannot equal 2, comes like this. And x cannot equal -3 over 2, comes like this. Okay. So I'm going to say here, y can't be 0. X cannot equal 2, and x cannot equal -3 over 2. All right. Questions and fears about that before I continue? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, let's start with the interval chart here right now. This is where you guys take over. Can someone be brave and tell me what to write on the left-hand column, please? Amy, go ahead.
X at x, and
Yeah.
then -3, 2x plus 3, x minus 2.
That was 2x plus 3 and x minus 2.
Yeah.
And then overall. And if you want to write test points down here, you can. Okay, now, Amy, can you, okay, folks, can you please refocus here? Thank you. Amy, can you explain to the class where you got those 3 numbers from?
The initial equation.
Yeah, they come right from right here. Because people always ask me, where do those numbers actually come from? There's your -3, there's your x minus 2, there's your 2x plus 3. All right, can I get another brave soul to tell me, please, where I get the intervals left to right from? Okay, somebody please help me. Be brave. Yeah, Albert, go ahead.
So from your domain range.
Yeah.
So x is less than negative.
Yeah. Good. Keep going.
Negative 1.5 is greater than x greater than 2.
Okay. Good.
And then x is greater than 2.
Good. I think you got your less than greater than things mixed up, but like you said them wrong. But I think I knew what you meant here in the middle of that. Okay. All right. So that's very good. What he did correctly was he looked like domain here. The first the first part on the left is less than -3 over 2. The middle part's between -3 over 2 and 2. The right-hand part is greater than 2. Okay. Okay. Can I get a brave soul to fill in the left? Actually, pick a number and fill in the left-hand column for me.
How do you pick the numbers?
Good question. How do you pick the numbers? What you do is you pick any number less than -3 over 2. So -2 would work, -100 would work, -1,000, -2, -3, -2. It doesn't really matter. I write -10. Okay, any negative number will work. Okay. Okay. Now here's the tricky part. I plug x equals. I plug x equals.
Excuse the interruption. Could Heather Eric please come to the chapel? Heather Eric to the chapel, please.
Why you should be in my math class? I can't ask this question. Okay, x equals negative 10. What does that make negative 3? Negative. Why is it negative, David? It says negative 3. This doesn't happen. The numerator of our original equation here, no matter what we have for x, is always going to be negative, right? It's always a negative number. Okay, back to the next one. Somebody else other than David. If I plug negative 10 into 2x plus 3, what do I get? 2 times negative 10 is negative 20, plus 3 is a negative 17, which I think is a negative. And if you pick negative 2 or negative 3 or whatever negatives you pick, you would have still got the same result here, right? And then negative 10 minus 2 is still negative. Okay, can a brave soul tell me what a negative times a negative times a negative is? Negative. Oh my goodness. It is in fact a negative number. Now, since he's just returning from the washroom, Logan had a question about how you draw a negative graph here. How do you draw negative here? It's going to start like a 0 here and then sort of drop like this. Now, I'm not super interested. I want to see it look sort of curving downwards like that. If you say, well, Mr. Sadler, at negative 0.33, it's not exactly here, that's okay. I just want to get the trend of this. That's what I want. Okay. Let's do the right-hand side. Can somebody tell me their favorite number bigger than 2? Actually, maybe I'll do that after that comment I said before. I'm going to pick 58 to be my favorite number. All right. What is the negative 3? When I sub in 58, what's the value going to be? No matter what you put in for x, your numerator is always going to be negative, right? 2 times 58 is 116, plus 3 is positive. 58 minus 2 is also positive. What is a positive number times a positive number times a negative number? Negative. So this over here is also going to be downwards like this. Okay. In the middle, I'm going to pick my favorite number between negative 3 over 2 and 2, which is going to be 0. Negative 3, when I plug in x equals 0 into negative 3, the answer is negative. Thank you. 0 plus 3 is positive. 0 minus 2 is negative. A negative times a positive times a negative is positive. What's that? Oh, just because it's a number between negative 3 over 2 and 2. I could have. Well, no, but just it's between, like it's in the middle there, right? I could have chose 1. I could have chose fine if it makes you feel better. Yeah. Fine. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 3 is positive, and then 1 minus 2 is still negative. Doesn't matter. Finally, here for this is going to be in the middle someplace. It's going to look something like this. There are arrows on the end. Okay. Can I get someone to be brave and state the remaining range for my graph? Hold on, picking on you since you were Snapchatting in my class last week. What's the domain, please? What's the domain, please? Yeah.
Negative 3 over 2.
Yeah. Good. Okay, Madison, since you're also Snapchatting last week, please tell me what the range is, please. Yeah, y cannot equal 0 here. And that is the question that's going to be on your test in your final exam. I'm going to throw one more on here for homework, and then I'm going to stop talking. I'd like you to try this out tonight if you could, okay, to keep you sharp. To try these on your own will actually help your math, okay? So do homework, one question.
Are you recording tomorrow?
Depends if you're going to shift copy. Yes, I'll try and if I remember, because the problem is it's more my memory than anything else, yes, I will try to. And actually, I apologize last week for giving you a hard time. Graph. I've already factored for you. I've already factored for you. I've already factored for you.
Three, then there was one. So you can't cancel out the negatives?
I will not be taking this up tomorrow because I want to get to tomorrow's lesson on word problems. On Monday, if this is not successful for you guys, if this is unsuccessful, I'll take it up on Monday for the test, or Tuesday, I mean, for the test, okay? But the graph's going to look different, because the graph's going to look a little different. Yeah, the question was a good question. David, can I get rid of that homework you guys have written down?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I go. No. Yeah, I go.
Is that a go or a yeah go or no? Okay. David asked a good question. He was curious about this. He says, well, how do you get with the way the graph looks? Okay. Well, since it's negative, that means the entire graph has to be negative in this domain. Right? Then it says positive. The entire graph has to be positive between those 2 points. The entire graph has to be negative there. Okay. I'm going to stop right now. Please don't tell your parents. Here's your homework. What you can do now is do that question. Would be good. Otherwise, if you want to work on your assignments, if you want to sit there with your arms crossed and then go look on the face, that's okay. I'm sorry. You guys should have my job at the front of the class.